The playoffs have started shaking up the WNBA world, but not for the reasons we expected. Caitlin Clark made her playoff debut against the Connecticut Sun, but what should have been her moment to shine turned into a nightmare in a matter of seconds. The game had barely begun when the Sun's Dijonai Carrington hit Clark square in the eye, a controversial play that changed the entire course of the game. Clark, known for her sharp three-point shooting, spent the rest of the game struggling to see her way to victory. From that moment on, it was clear that this wasn't the same game everyone expected to see. For those used to seeing Clark dominate the court, what happened next was heartbreaking. The player who drains three-pointers as if it were the easiest thing in the world simply disappeared. Clark finished the night with just 11 points, well below her average of nearly 20 per game in the regular season. But the worst part was her shooting. She attempted 17 shots and made only 4, a miserable 23.5% success rate. The impaired vision affected her entire game. Assists, Clark's trademark, also dropped. The most frustrating thing was seeing Clark trying to force plays that would normally be easy for her. Precise passes ended up in the hands of opponents. Shots she could make in her sleep hit the rim, or didn't even come close. The incident didn't just affect Clark, but the entire Indiana Fever. Coach Christy Sides clearly had to throw Plan A in the trash as soon as she realized her star wasn't at her best. By the end of the game, with defeat looming, the disappointment was visible on everyone's face on the Fever. It wasn't just the unfavorable score, it was the feeling that they didn't even have a chance to show their true potential. With all this, speculation about the possible consequences of the incident didn't take long to emerge. The big question, will the league officially address this? Many expect a statement from the WNBA about the play. Some are betting on a fine for Dijonai Carrington, while others think there will be, at most, a public slap on the wrist. One speculation that's gained traction is about a possible suspension for Carrington. Analysts are comparing this play with other incidents from the past, trying to predict if the league will consider this serious enough to keep Carrington out of the next game. The impact of such a decision on the series would be enormous. The refereeing issue is also at the center of discussions. Many believe that in the next game, the referees will be more attentive. Will we see stricter officiating? Some say that any stronger contact with Clark will be called a foul immediately. And what about Clark herself? Everyone's eyes are on the Fever's medical department. Will she be cleared to play the next game? If so, will she use some kind of eye protection? Looking ahead, the next matchup between the Fever and the Sun promises to be electrifying. The big question is, how will Caitlin Clark be if she steps on court? At 100%, we can expect a revenge performance. Just imagine the narrative. Clark recovers from injury and leads an epic comeback. But what if she's not fully recovered? In that case, Coach Christy Sides will have to rack her brain. We might see a completely different tactical scheme. On the Suns' side, the question is, will they maintain the same strategy? After all, it worked in the first game. But what if Clark comes back strong? They might be forced to completely change their game plan mid-match. If you want full information, then subscribe to the Upload channel and comment. Thank you.